The day the world discovered the gateway began like any other. The sky over Jakarta was gray with early morning haze, and the hum of city life blended with the distant roar of the Indian Ocean. Scientists at the Earth Space Anomaly Observatory had been monitoring odd fluctuations in local electromagnetic fields near Mount Sunduro for months. But few expected anything beyond a quirk of geology. Then, a seismic ripple approached. Instruments trembled, lights flickered. Against half-spoken prayers, the mountain's forested slope cracked open. A shimmering oval of light appeared, pulsing softly, hovering in midair. Within hours, confusion turned to wonder as experts realized it was no ordinary rift. Something otherworldly had opened, and it beckoned with an indescribable energy that both thrilled and terrified humanity. Teams of experts from every continent converged under the newly formed Interdimensional Exploration Agency. While the world media relayed conflicting theories, was it a tear in space-time, a wormhole, some cosmic gateway? The scientific community mobilized in an unprecedented show of cooperation. Nations that once quarreled over trade routes now dispatched their brightest scientists and engineers to examine the flickering curtain of light. Military forces set up perimeters to keep out curious onlookers, though rumors spread of renegade thrill-seekers sneaking past fences at night. There was little debate that the phenomenon was dangerous, but its possibilities were too vast to ignore. A daring group known as Team Aurora volunteered for the first direct investigation, led by the brilliant physicist Dr. Danica Tetsuo. Her equations had predicted that the barrier could be traversable, although every journey would carry unknown risks. Over a month of small-scale tests sending drones and probes through yielded inconclusive data. Some devices vanished forever, transmitting only static or partial glimpses of alien landscapes before going silent. Others reappeared, battered and scorched, as if they'd been hurled through half a dozen bizarre realms. Each success raised more questions than answers, but humanity had never been one to shrink from the unknown. Finally, after countless simulations and emergency drills, the green light was given. Dr. Tetsuo and a select few stepped through the shimmering oval. The transition was abrupt. One moment they were in the humid air of Java, the next they found themselves in a corridor of swirling darkness, punctuated by specks of starlight. It did not feel like ordinary space. Sight and sound morphed as if time itself played tricks. Their protective suits registered an environment that defied conventional physics. Each second felt like an eternity until they emerged in a strange land where sky and ground merged in impossible hues of violet and gold, and crystalline structures burst from the horizon like luminous cathedrals. This first dimension was emptier than expected. No signs of life greeted them, though the area bristled with mysterious energies that made hair stand on end, even beneath protective gear. Team Aurora spent days collecting samples, minerals, atmospheric gases, readings of subatomic particles. Dr. Tetsuo described the place as a cosmic crossroad without a map, suspecting that many more such realms might be connected through hidden channels. Nobody knew what or who might reside in them. Years of science fiction had speculated on alien civilizations, yet the reality felt bigger than imagination could handle. Back on Earth, their triumphant return was greeted by crowds cheering and wide-eyed children who stood behind security barriers with homemade signs proclaiming hope for the future. Politicians from every global bloc, once at odds, spoke of a new era of unity, forging unprecedented research alliances to study and protect the gateway. Still, amidst the celebrations, cautious voices grew louder. Some argued that humanity was not yet ready to meddle in cosmic affairs, voicing fears of unleashing an unstoppable threat. Religious leaders debated the moral significance. Was this a gift from a higher power, or a cosmic test of humility? Months passed, and the gateway remained stable. More teams ventured into uncharted dimensions, discovering a kaleidoscope of realities. Some were hostile, bombarded by acid storms or populated by bizarre landscapes where molten glass rained from turquoise skies. Others possessed delicate ecosystems teeming with life. The variety was overwhelming, And soon it became clear that Earth's mountain portal might be one branch of a vast nexus linking countless universes. Each discovery further underscored that Earth's fate could be tied to these unknown expanses in ways nobody had foreseen. Then came the first contact with an intelligent species. A scouting team in the fifth dimension encountered tall, elongated figures with gemstone eyes. They called themselves the Noreali, living in a city of carved obsidian towers suspended over bottomless chasms. Communication was difficult at first, but the Noreali revealed they too had stumbled upon a gateway once leading to a labyrinth of interdimensional tunnels. And they had long suspected someone else might be using the corridor. Their technology, propelled by psychic resonance and crystal-based energy, shimmered with an elegance that dazzled human scientists. Encouraged by these peaceful interactions, delegations were exchanged. Humans marveled at the Noreali's telepathic artistry, while the Noreali found fascination in Earth's machine-driven accomplishments. A fragile trust formed. That trust expanded when ambassadors from another dimension arrived, winged Benarath, who soared through layered skies of living storms. Soon, Earth became a gathering place for interdimensional travelers, each offering fragments of knowledge about the cosmic network that connected their homes. The gateway on Mount Sundoro was more than a portal. It was a node in the multiverse's grand design. Humanity was no longer alone. Yet not all visitors came with open hearts. Whispers circulated of shadowy groups that exploited the gateways for plunder, for conquest, for dark experiments. Some realms were ravaged by interdimensional poachers seeking rare resources or profitable biomatter. The Noreali recounted atrocities committed by a fearsome race known as the Harrowers, who traveled in colossal star fortresses and subjugated worlds for sport. Earth's newfound status as a gateway hub became a liability. If the Harrowers discovered this crucial node, humanity could face destruction on a scale unimaginable. Amid these dangers, a shift occurred in Earth's collective consciousness. Nations recognized that the gateway was not merely a gift of limitless opportunity, but also a sacred responsibility. If each dimension were left unprotected, chaos could spill across the boundaries. The Interdimensional Exploration Agency evolved into a collaborative defense initiative, forging alliances with the Noreali, the Benarath, and other peaceful species. Joint councils convened to standardize codes of conduct. Together, they created an interdimensional charter that formalized the ethical use of the portals, with tight protocols designed to preserve the delicate balance among the realms. When the Harrowers finally launched a strike, a swarm of sleek warships, appearing through a newly uncovered gateway in a distant dimension, a united front rose to meet them. Earth contributed logistics, weapons engineered from advanced alien designs, and newly invented barrier shields that harnessed exotic neutrino streams. The Noreali fought with telepathic illusions, scrambling the Harrowers' ranks, while the Benarath utilized aerial tactics that pounded the enemy from above. The battle was fierce, echoing across fractal skies. Worlds quaked under the thunder of energy blasts. In the end, the Harrowers were repelled, limping back into the hidden corridors minus their largest fortress, which sank into a cosmic rift. That hard-won victory changed everything. Suddenly, Earth was no longer just an upstart species dabbling in cosmic affairs. Its people were seen as crucial protectors of a network vital to countless worlds. In the wake of the conflict, an even broader coalition formed, universes working together to maintain stability and guard each other's doorways. It became apparent that these gateways scattered across space-time needed responsible custodians to keep them from being exploited. And Earth, once technologically outmatched, surprised other realms with a combination of ingenuity and moral conviction. Amja Reynolds, the newly appointed liaison between Earth and the Interdimensional Council, wrestled with doubt and hope alike. Each day brought frantic reports of possible break-ins, rogue experiments, or dimensional anomalies spreading like invisible ripples. Even more alarming, sensor probes suggested that additional gateways were spontaneously appearing around the planet. Was the cosmic fabric itself reacting to humanity's presence? Dr. Tetsuo, now leading advanced theoretical research, proposed that unlocking one gateway might be drawing others into resonance like cosmic puzzle pieces slotting into place. Earth was becoming a grand junction. As the phenomenon intensified, administrators realized they needed more than protocols. They needed actual guardians, individuals committed to safeguarding the portals, monitoring the flux, and intervening when threats arose. Over time, elite teams were established, integrating human creativity with alien disciplines. A synergy of technology and psionic gifts birthed sophisticated scanning devices that could detect clandestine attempts to open unauthorized gateways. Skilled envoys formed squads, traveling through established corridors to ensure each passage abided by the interdimensional rules. Their efforts were recognized, and the name Gatekeepers spread, carrying a reverent tone across multiple dimensions. The duties were grueling. Gatekeeper teams spent days or sometimes weeks in exotic realms, negotiating treaties or fending off cosmic storms that threatened to destabilize the corridors. Humanity learned humility and caution. Tales abounded of reckless explorers who triggered gravitational vortexes or unleashed hibernating beast lords. The entire notion of interdimensional travel had to be approached with the reverence of pilgrims entering sacred grounds. Over time, the gatekeepers became symbols of balanced power. Their mission was not to dominate, but to shepherd the safe exchange of ideas and resources, ensuring that no domain was exploited or corrupted. However, the burden weighed heavily. Conflicting demands rose from different species and different corners of the multiverse. Some dimensions teetered on ecological collapse, seeking urgent help from Earth's coalitions. Others struggled under the control of self-proclaimed warlords. Gatekeepers found themselves mediating cultural clashes and moral dilemmas. Should they intervene in dimension-wide disputes or remain neutral? Could they shut off a gateway if it risked humanitarian disaster on the other side? Or was it an affront to that realm's sovereignty? The moral lines blurred. Each decision shaped Earth's reputation as both a leader and a servant of the greater good. In an especially volatile dimension, the gatekeepers clashed with a breakaway human faction that had exploited alien technology to reshape entire ecosystems for their own gain. Calling themselves the Dawn Shapers, they believed Earth deserved to rule these lesser realms. This conflict challenged the gatekeepers to reevaluate their loyalty and question how power could corrupt even humanity's own ranks. Ultimately, with help from Noryali telepaths, the Dawn Shapers' stronghold was subdued. But the incident underscored a chilling truth. Threats did not come solely from external forces. The seeds of danger could sprout within Earth's own soil. Under the guidance of the Interdimensional Council, the Gatekeepers enhanced security measures around Mount Sandoro, building a fortress-like research center around the original portal. The complex sprawled across the mountain, ringed by sensor arrays that glowed at night. Inside, advanced labs studied quantum echoes emanating from newly detected gateways in remote deserts, polar ice sheets, or deep ocean trenches. A sense of awe persisted. Humanity had come so far. From hesitant explorers to stewards of a cosmic crossroads. Yet the greater the responsibility, the more humbling it became. Diplomats and scientists traveled frequently, forging deeper connections with allied worlds. Humans learned from the telepaths of Noryali how to refine empathic bonds in crisis. They learned from Benarath how to harness atmospheric energies for propulsion. In return, Earth taught them about robotics, medicine, and the unyielding human spirit that had brought the species from caves to stars. Mutually, they discovered that cooperation was the cornerstone of safeguarding the gateways, each dimension's unique strength building a tapestry of resilience. Threats still lurked. Not all who roamed the corridors respected the charter. But the gatekeepers were prepared. They developed specialized squads trained to deal with the darkest horrors, intangible entities that fed on psychic fear, or monstrous rovers that flattened entire ecosystems for mineral extraction. Each confrontation reminded them that the multiverse held infinite wonders and infinite dangers. No single species could handle it alone. which made the Gatekeepers all the more essential. They were a unifying presence, representing hope and reminding allies across dimensions that someone vigilantly watched their common thresholds. In time, legends of Earth became deeply woven into the myths of distant civilizations. Children on alien worlds heard bedtime stories of the Gatekeepers who kept the corridors safe from nightmares that wore no shape. New species emerged, trembling at first contact, until they realized that Earth was not an empire of conquerors, but a vigilant caretaker. This shift of perception changed the cosmic dialogue, pivoting from fear to cautious trust, from isolation to collective guardianship. Empires that once kept to themselves found value in sharing knowledge openly, knowing Earth's watchful eyes deterred the unscrupulous. The greater cosmic design revealed itself through the growing lattice of gateways. Dr. Tetsuo's advanced theoretical framework suggested that every dimension, every universe, was simply another puzzle piece in an ever-expanding tapestry. The gateways served as the threads weaving them together. Perhaps the multiverse was evolving, pushing for greater interconnection, as if it yearned to unify its scattered pieces. In this unfolding narrative, humanity's role was clear: to be caretakers, to guide and stand guard, so that these cosmic threads could create a harmonious whole rather than a twisted snarl of conflict. In the crisp night air atop Mount Sundoro, Amja Reynolds often gazed at the portal's shimmering surface. She found it hauntingly beautiful, like the boundary between dreams and reality. Over time, she realized the gateway not only revealed new worlds, but also unveiled deeper truths about human nature. The more humanity reached outward, the more it had to grow inward, transcending petty disagreements, forging unity through adversity. Each dimension touched a strand of the collective human spirit, inviting it to expand beyond familiar boundaries. Despite triumphs, the Gatekeepers did not rest on their laurels. A persistent question haunted them. Were there older threats lurking in the deepest corridors? Powers ancient as time, uninterested in diplomacy or conquest, but in devouring existence itself? Whispers hinted at primordial entities asleep within cosmic voids. When or if they stirred, would even the combined might of countless realms suffice to hold the line? This uncertainty galvanized further vigilance. The Gatekeepers maintained constant readiness, forging stronger alliances and championing cooperation among newly discovered species. On the brink of a new century, the gateway at Mount Sundoro pulsed brighter, sending waves of luminescent energy across the mountain. A hush fell over anxious observers, with some recalling legends of cosmic cycles or ancient alignments. Yet there was no cataclysm, only a gentle shift that signaled another phase of evolution, a subtle transformation that might open corridors to more distant universes or awaken dormant potentials in each dimension's inhabitants. Humanity faced it not with dread, but with a tempered resolve earned by years on the cosmic stage. They would continue hosting newcomers, bridging worlds, learning from every ally, and standing ready against every menace. In the end, Earth's story was no longer a simple tale of human survival or yearning for exploration. It had become a grand testament to synergy, compassion, and shared destiny. Across the multiverse, minds lit with recognition that all were connected by invisible ties, that a threat to one was a threat to all, and that the Gatekeepers had the moral courage to enforce this principle. Humanity discovered its new role was far from a fleeting adventure. It was a solemn promise to protect the cosmic tapestry's delicate weave, ensuring that each thread, each realm could keep shining in the endless expanse of possibility. Seasons passed, and the name Gatekeepers carried a reverence once reserved for mythic heroes. Through countless crises and triumphs, they had proven themselves time and again. No longer mere earthlings, they were trusted allies by many races, spread across dimensions unimaginable. Holding the line between worlds, they balanced curiosity with caution, never forgetting the responsibility that came with knowledge and power. Their greatest victory was not conquest, but the forging of a path where many could tread safely. Beneath the swirling auroras of dimensional flux, a mother on Earth cradled her child and whispered stories of how brave souls once stepped through a portal in a volcanic mountain and found not only new realms, but a new purpose. She spoke of how they rose above their fears, forging alliances that spanned galaxies. The child listened with wide eyes, dreaming of one day becoming a gatekeeper and following in the footsteps of those who had dared to reach beyond the horizon. In this way, generation after generation, Earth's vow endured. At the gateway's threshold, watchers kept vigilant. Remote sensors scoured cosmic corridors for anomalies. Diplomatic channels thrived with interdimensional traffic. The gatekeepers served as a beacon of unity that transcended the notion of universal borders. And somewhere, in the eternal swirl of mysterious energies, the multiverse breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that at least in one small corner, guardians stood ready to keep the precious links between worlds open, safe, and filled with hope for all who dared cross their threshold.